guys, how you going? Okay, let's have a look at what's going on on the Gateway Pundit on the news. Okay, what have we got? Bernie Sanders says the US government should confiscate all money you earn over $999 million. Most of us won't even see that in our lifetime. Confiscate all the money people earn over $999 million. I don't agree with that. If you have earned it, well... Okay, unarmed security ambassadors. Oh, this is ridiculous. Who replace police officers in den-run cities stand by and watch while a violent confrontation happens directly in front of them. And it's a video. I'm not going to show that video. Black radio host Charlemagne the God on Joe Biden 2024. America is in shambles. I don't give a fuck what he says. I said far. I didn't say anything else other than that. You may remember Charlemagne the God for his far exchange with Joe Biden in 2020. Joe Biden was being his racist self during an interview with a Liberal radio host back in 2020. Joe Biden appeared on the Breakfast Club hosted by Charlemagne the God and told the black community, "You ain't black if they don't vote for him over President Trump." And this is a Biden quote. "If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black," said Biden. Yeah, that was disgusting. Joe Biden then blamed Charlemagne the God for the backlash he received for making a racist remark. Joe Biden blames anyone but himself. Biden blamed his own racist comment on Charlemagne the God for being a wise guy. Really? Okay, let's go back. I'm going to have a smarty pants look at the headlines. That's what I'm doing. The Moderna CEO raked in nearly $400 million last year. Yep, well, that'd be confiscated pretty soon because the truth's coming out about that. I don't think he's going to have that $400 million for long. John Deere corporate might have a reason to panic, but farmers will love what's happening. What are they going to love? Farmers have been battling the manufacturers of their high-tech farming machinery for years over the right to repair their equipment on their own. Oh, I remember this. Major companies in the space, including John Deere, began restricting products to manufacture exclusive service contracts. These contracts lock out the farmers who own the tractors, for instance, from making even small repairs to their machines. That's like cars these days. Unless you have the computerized thing you put the car on to apparently test whether it's sick or not. They're going to have those things for us soon. Okay, instead when something breaks down, farmers have to call the manufacturer or dealer to schedule a repairman to come out and service the device, forcing the farmer to shut down his operations while waiting for the repairman to come out to the farm. And they could have it done in 5 minutes themselves if they're allowed to do that. This is obviously a serious problem for farmers who are under strict time restrictions during planting and harvesting. Farmers have been contesting this situation for years, ever since some manufacturers of equipment have begun implementing such exclusionary practices. It has resulted in a campaign among farmers called the Right to Repair movement, where farmers are fighting for the right to make repairs to the tractors and other instruments they bought and own. The farmers claim they lose money and time while waiting for these repairmen to show up. Not only that, but they contend that if a tractor maker holds the sole right to repair, then the farmers don't even own their tractors, despite paying tens of thousands of dollars for the vehicles. They may as well be just renting them. Farmers have had to wait 3 or 4 weeks to get, oh no way, to get repairs done to equipment when they can do the repairs themselves. That's just unfat. Imagine that. Imagine having to sit there and wait, knowing that you can repair it in 5 minutes, or even like before the day's out. Okay, just, oh my goodness, that's just milking more money out of people as well. That's exactly what they're doing. And the same with the cars. People used to be able to fix cars themselves, and now they've computerized the whole things. Good luck finding where anything is. I'm talking as a woman here, don't mind me. I know where the oil dipstick is because I have to check my oil. I know where the radiator is. And everything else is covered in plastic. On my washer water. Yeah, that. I know where that is. Oh, God help me. Okay, yeah, of course the manufacturers vehemently opposed it because they want the money. The proposal left some GOP lawmakers stuck between their farming constituents and the manufacturers. GOP lawmakers, you work for the people. It's not that hard. For their part, companies such as John Deere say that farming equipment is now so highly technical and computer-driven, we'll make the older ones then. That repairs... Oh, sorry, I'm really... Oh, my goodness. Yeah, no, I'm angry about this one because farmers shouldn't have to wait. And honestly, they should just build the old type of engines so that people can work on their own machinery and cars and trucks and things. Okay, even more importantly, manufacturers say that if just anyone can start tearing down and rebuilding their high-tech machinery, their proprietary technology will all be all too easily open for corporate theft. Oh, whoop-de-doo, mate. Seriously. I reckon make them all the old combustion engines again. Hang on a sec, I've got to go and have a cough. Oh, no. Okay, manufacturers also say that allowing tractor owners to make any manner of repair also allows them to bypass emissions controls set by governments and to crank up horsepower or make other modifications that violate laws. Yeah, stupid laws. Seriously? Stupid laws. This, they say, puts equipment operators at risk of injury and in turn would unfairly place the manufacturers in a position to be sued for those injuries. Well, how about we take these suing people left, right and centre? Like, the world's become a very litigious place. Okay, it should be then that the manufacturers, they'll stand by their product, but hey, if you touch it and tweak it and do anything else to it, then maybe, I don't know, void the warranty. I don't know. What do you guys think? Tell me what you think about this down below. Forcing a business to disclose trade secret software and jeopardise customer safety is poor public policy. Really? Because they want to make money. A Republican who opposed, Matt Soper, a Republican who opposed right to repair measures in the Centennial State. Watch out for that guy. The opposition was not enough to stall the legislation. Colorado's Democrat Governor Jared Polis happily signed the new bill into law last Tuesday, saying this will save farmers and ranchers time and money and support the free market in repair, before exclaiming, "First in the nation." The new law will take effect on January 1st next year. I still think use the old combustion engines and let people fix them themselves. They lasted longer. Seriously. All these look, what happens if there's a EMP or your car stops? At least if you had the old combustion engine, you could probably still drive the bloody thing. I hate the way technology's gone, to be honest, sorry. Okay, though that's one thing they might have done right. Restricting the right of repair on a wide range of products. At the time, the Federal Trade Commission approved rules to allow consumers to repair their own items or contract with a local business to make those repairs instead of being forced to deal solely with manufacturers. Yep, they raise the costs for consumers, stifle innovation, close off business opportunity for independent repair shops, create unnecessary electronic waste, delay timely repairs and undermine resiliency. Well, I do agree to letting people fix their own vehicles. Anyway, transgender Montana state lawmaker says laws restricting sex change surgery for minors are unconstitutional as they are cruel. Really? Because as far as I'm concerned, why do you want access to sex change for minors? Why Why do you think it's so cruel? Most of them don't even know what is going on. The minors I'm talking about. Well, you could probably say the same about these people. They don't live in reality, but, you know. Why you want access to the children, mate? Okay, apparently Fetterman chugs a beer after spending 2 months in a psych ward following a massive stroke. Get that one? Yeah, apparently. He chugged a beer on Friday with a fellow PA Democrat lawmaker after being released from a psych ward. Wow. Reckons he had clinical depression and then he's slugging down a beer. That's not going to help. Last Thursday, Fetterman celebrated International Marijuana Day. It's 420 on 420, Fetterman said on a tweet on Thursday. Oh, God. Are we watching a comedy here? Fetterman on Monday returned to Capitol Hill looking dishevelled and confused after a prolonged absence during which he received treatment for severe depression. Are you sure they didn't rearrange his brain? The dazed and confused senator looked like a slob as he arrived at Capitol Hill. Oh dear God. If he's that depressed and all the stuff's going on that they say, he shouldn't be drinking a beer. Was it a Bud Light or Bud? Okay, report BLM activist ruined the reputation of white University of Virginia student over remarks she misheard. What'd she mishear? Zahana Bryant, a celebrated Black Lives Matter activist at University of Virginia, is accused of damaging a white UV student's reputation. Wow, that's a mouthful. Over a comment she's alleged to have overheard. Bryant claims she heard Morgan Bettinger at a July 2020 protest for George Floyd refer to protesters as speed bumps and threatening to run them over. The alleged wording was to the effect of, "It's a good thing that you are here because otherwise these people would have been speed bumps," Reason magazine reported. Later, Bryant admitted she may have misheard the comments. But that was too late for what happened to Bettinger because of the accusations in the attacks that the woke mob unleashed on her in an endless torrent of social media posts and attacks. She was decried as a Nazi, she was investigated by her school, and there was a bid to have her expelled, according to Reason magazine. In the year that followed, Bettinger was the subject of multiple investigations, one of them from the UJC, would find her guilty of threatening the health or safety of students. That's like YouTube and their guidelines. Apparently find you guilty of cyberbullying and harassing when you weren't. As punishment, she would be expelled in abeyance, meaning she was allowed to continue her schooling, but that a second violation of the same standard of conduct would likely result in an actual expulsion. She also faced a litany of other sanctions. Sounds like YouTube. While Bettinger eventually graduated, no, I'm not minimising this lady's experience. The poor lady, I feel sorry for her. While Bettinger eventually graduated from the university, she did so with a permanent mark on her record and a destroyed reputation. Oh, no way. But despite 2 separate investigations, then there's no evidence beyond Bryant's allegations that Bettinger said protesters would make good effing speed bumps or that she threatened protesters at all. Bettinger denied she made the threat. A student-run investigation agreed with Bettinger's, not Bryant's, version of what transpired. A separate investigation by the school's Civil Rights Office concluded that none of Bryant's allegations had sufficient evidence to support them. Bryant's most damning claim that Bettinger had told protesters they'd make good speed bumps had no corroborating witnesses, even though it allegedly occurred in front of a crowd of more than 30 people. Reason reviewed additional documents previously not made public, all of which back up the findings of the investigation. But none of this would come out until nearly a year later, in June 2021, with the results of the investigation kept largely under wraps. The only story that most UVA students heard, the one repeated over group chats, Twitter threads and Zoom meetings with almost manic fervour, was Bryant's. Oh no. This is the story of a rumour mill that rushed to collective judgment, a pervasive climate of anger and outrage, a weak campus administration and a unique higher ed justice system that faltered just when it was most needed. It's the story of a woman who was informally ostracised and formally sanctioned for a story that seemingly everyone on campus had heard and believed, but which was never proven. This is the thing. You have to wait for proof on things. It's like, okay, the Crowder thing. I saw the video. I heard it. I've had worse arguments than he did. And it looks like a bit of a setup. And there are timestamps missing, apparently. If you look at the video carefully enough, you'll see it skips. I think it was a setup. I'm just saying. I'm not 100% sure. And if it was the way it looks, then Crowder's, you know, needs to pull his head in too. But honestly, Crowder's going to release the full video if he can. So I'll wait for judgment on that one. Like, you know, and most people who are in a relationship, most people have been through an argument or two, and that one was. I've had worse, put it that way. Jill Biden wears lime green trash bag to White House Correspondents' Dinner. Oh my God. Oh dear. It doesn't look good. Did nobody tell her that? Has she got no friends to say, maybe wear something else? Or maybe that's because her wardrobe looks pretty bad. I don't know. I thought people dressed these people, but maybe not. America, one honest intelligence officer, former CIA official, reveals he did not sign Mike Morell's BS letter on Hunter Biden laptop being a Russian operation. Oh, all that in one breath. Former CIA Moscow station chief revealed he was asked to sign onto Mike Morell's BS statement in October 2020 that the Hunter Biden laptop was a Russian operation. Intel officer Daniel Hoffman, a Fox News contributor, did not sign the letter from Morell that was completely made up. Hoffman was allegedly presented with the letter but refused to sign it. Ultimately, 51 Intel officials signed, which asserted Hunter Biden's laptop left at a Wilmington repair shop had hallmarks of a Russian disinformation. We now know that Biden campaign, Tony Blinken and Mike Morell were behind the Intel letter. Was it Blinken that I was talking about yesterday on my live stream? They knew the content of the letter was complete BS but ran with it anyway and purposely lied to the American public. They held no remorse for their lies to this day. Daniel Hoffman has told Fox News he was presented with the letter. At first glance, it seemed natural to lay the blame at Kremlin's doorstep, Hoffman said. Remember, Putin is the Kremlin and he's well known for cloak and dagger espionage operations. But at the same time, there was no evidence, and the letter noted there was no evidence. So there you go. Convoluted, I'll say. For which agencies with forensic investigation abilities like the FBI should have done their diligence before he would sign it. Yeah. They didn't want to, did they? Okay, doctors warn occurrences of rare brain infection in children have tripled after COVID-19 lockdowns. Don't worry about the elephant in the room, yeah, okay. Okay. Sure it's not from the jab. Far-left model brings her slaves with her to the White House Correspondents' Dinner and forces them to carry her dress so it doesn't get dusty. Lovely. Wow. She didn't even acknowledge the poor women who were tasked with protecting her dress. This is peak liberalism in 2023. Chrissy Teigen, oh my God, walking to the White House Correspondents' Dinner with the slaves trailing behind her. Because that's what they do. They use people, they chew them up and spit them out pretty much, but they do use people and they do use slaves. RFK Jr. says his father and uncle were fighting against the military-industrial complex before their deaths. Yes, I agree. How about you guys? Joe Biden admits he barely works and takes no questions from reporters, then laughs about it. Really? He's calling himself Dark Brandon again, apparently, too. It was in the next story. Okay, where is the story? Oh, seriously, someone get this man a blanket and a wheelchair. Wheel him off to the old people's home. Joe Biden on Saturday night gave a speech at the White House Correspondents' Dinner which barely anyone understood. Biden looked like a lost toddler when he walked on stage with Dr. Jill. Joe Biden barely made it through his speech. It's way past his bedtime. Joe Biden admitted he barely works and takes no questions from reporters. While Jean Pierre, what's her name, was saying he takes the most questions from reporters. Bit of a lie there. A typical day for Joe Biden starts at 11 a.m. at the earliest. His handlers trot him out for 10 minutes, then he shuffles away without taking any questions from reporters. Biden thinks this is funny. In a lot of ways, this dinner sums up my first 2 years in office. I'll talk for 10 minutes, take 0 questions, and cheerfully walk away, said Biden. Let's have a little listen.
In a lot of ways, this dinner sums up my first 2 years in office. I'll talk for 10 minutes, take 0 questions, and cheerfully walk away.
God, even that smile is enough to, like, creeps you out. Biden calls himself Dark Brandon during White House Correspondents' Dinner. Oh, God, he's doing this again. Biden stated, Roy, comedian host, the podium's yours. I'm going to be fine with your jokes, but I'm not sure about Dark Brandon. He then proceeded to slowly put on his sunglasses. Oh, here we go. It's theatre.
I'm going to turn this over to Roy. Roy, the podium is yours. I'm going to be fine with your jokes, but I'm not sure about Dark Brandon.
Joe Biden, you weirdo. As Roy Wood Jr. took a stage, he leaned into the joke and said, you all give it up for Dark Brandon. And he said, real quick, Mr. President, I think you left some of your classified documents up here. You left them everywhere else, why not? Biden got his nickname Brandon after No, it wasn't after Brandon Brown won his first ever NASCAR race. No, it wasn't. People were yelling out, F Joe Biden. And the news reporter said, they're saying, let's go Brandon. There you go. As Brandon Brown was being interviewed by an NBC reporter, the NASCAR crowd started chanting F Joe Biden. The NBC reporter who was interviewing Brown desperately tried to control the situation and claimed the crowd was chanting let's go Brandon. But the video says otherwise. And I'm sure you've all seen it. I have. We all have. Okay, Ron DeSantis set to sign bill into law that would allow him to run for president in 2024 while remaining governor. Thanks to a bill passed by the Florida legislature on Friday that reforms the state election law. Okay, well, he won't win. I'm telling you. He's got, like... Although he's doing really good for Florida, I don't know. I don't think he'll win. He's got the personality of a wet mop. I'm sorry, like, just saying, like, he's good at his job, and he should stay there and do that. Gateway Pundit has the best readers. TGP, the Gateway Pundit audience raises $27,000 for a January 6th defendant who was forced to camp in the park because he could not afford a hotel room during government trial. Thank you, Gateway Pundit readers, apparently. Report Newsmax offers Tucker Carlson colossal deal. What's this? On Monday, Fox News announced they parted ways with Tucker Carlson. By Monday evening, Tucker Carlson already had at least one offer. One American News founder and CEO, Robert Herring, extended an invitation to Tucker Carlson to meet, negotiate a deal to become part of the OAN team. On Saturday, TMZ reported that Newsmax is courting the top-rated cable news host. According to TMZ, Newsmax is even sweetening the deal and offering him control over the entire Newsmax lineup. Ooh. Tucker Carlson is out at Fox News, and now another conservative news outlet, Newsmax, wants him to be more than just the face of the network and is putting on a full court press to land him. Sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ the news channel is doing everything it can to sweeten the deal for Tucker to come on board, including floating the idea of letting him program the whole channel, not just his own show. That would be a pretty enticing deal point. In addition to having his own primetime show, Tucker would have a say over what shows lead into and out of his shows, which can be key in achieving bigger TV ratings. Well done to Tucker if that's the case. We'll see what happens. And what else have I got over here? Oh, this should tell Australia. Jerry Hoogland said this should tell Australians exactly what their Prime Minister thinks of them and their concerns for their life. Nothing. Albanese tells the concerned citizen she had her say, shaking his head with a condescending grin before going on to gloat about attending a wedding of a public radio person. Our politics is a disgrace. Okay, let's have a listen.
Kyle, when Kyle talked to me, I remember having a discussion.
Let's talk about housing, Prime Minister.
Do you want to? Yeah, I think you've had your say.
Well, haven't. You're having your say at the back of the sewage works where no one knows what's going on. This is such a huge development in Tasmania. Here we are stuck in this tiny little spot at the back of the sewage.
Okay, thanks.
To make an announcement about all this money.
Thanks. Kyle and Tegan have a relationship, and the thing that occurs is at a wedding is it's a public expression in front of people.
Is he drunk? He's not saying much. You know, like seriously, it's a public expression of people's love. Whoopie-doo. We don't need to know you're going to a wedding, mate. But I don't know. I'm wondering if he drinks all the time now.
Invited guests of love between two people. That's a good thing. I enjoy weddings, and I'll be going to the wedding.
And who cares? I don't care. Do you care? I mean, seriously, is this news? No, I like the lady yelling out, talk about housing. That's the only part of that interview I actually liked. Awakened Outlaw said Wise collaborating with foreign adversities, the UN, NGOs, example Red Cross, WEF, etc., and even using US freaking taxpayer money to help facilitate the invasion of our own southern border. Or are we supposed to pretend this isn't a thing? Sooner or later, they'll put these third world migrants in American uniforms and they'll be used against the US population. They're coming to take our homes and cars, they're coming to replace us, and our own government is behind it, Michael Yon says. They're funneled towards the US southern border via a sophisticated logistics operation paid for by American taxpayers in the United Nations, says war correspondent Michael Yon. Wow. Federal government behind massive operation to get them there. Ah, dear. Is there a thread? Why is the US collaborating with foreign adversary? Yeah, FYI, multiple TBIs have jumbled how I process what I read, so I don't even see omissions and mistakes till later. That's the price you pay for following my goofy ass. I agree, mate. Me too. Okay? Julie Donuts said the Biden administration is, yeah, they're doing that to children. And I've already read that, didn't I? Well, that's all I've done for today anyway. Oh, by the way, Australia slipped something in on Friday before they left the Parliament about water. I've got to look into it more. They're selling our water off, but look, most people know, or actually maybe most people don't know, but you should know that most of the politicians have shares in water. Okay, they own water shares, water stakes, whatever. Okay, all of our politicians. And now I think they're giving it control of it to someone overseas. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to look into that, guys. So don't quote me on that last one, okay? As usual, take everything I say with a grain of salt. Everything everyone says with a grain of salt. And hope you have a good morning, afternoon or evening. And let me know what you think about this down below. I'll talk to you soon. Okay, guys, have a good one. Bye.